In this episode, some of the names have been changed. In the foothills of the Catskill Mountains lies the village of Wurtsboro, New York. With a population of under 1,300, it is a quiet haven, only 2 hours, but a world away from New York City. On August 27, 1999, at the New York State Police Station in Wurtsboro, a call came in from out of state. The caller was Tony Valentine in Lutz, Florida. She said she was concerned about her sister, Tammy Karen.
She normally calls me, as I said, once a week.
Valentine had not been able to contact her sister in 2 months, which was very unusual.
Yeah, I'll take her right to the house first and I'll call you back later on.
She was sure something was wrong.
Thank you.
Hey, John, what's up?
Hey, Gil, how are you?
Good. I just want to run something by you. I just got off the phone.
State police investigator John Jones learned that Tony Valentine last spoke with her sister on June 27th.
She's worried because she hasn't heard from her sister, and she files a missing persons report at that time and asked us to check on the welfare of her sister.
Investigators opened a missing persons case and traveled to the Karen home to see if they could find Tammy or her husband. It was possible Tammy simply wasn't returning her sister's calls. At the house, they were met by Tammy's husband.
Yes, sir. I'd like to talk to you.
They told Hal Karen about the call from Florida, and he agreed to talk to them. He said Tammy had left him.
Hal Karen told me that he and his wife had been having some marital problems. He said that Tammy liked to party a lot. He was giving her money on a regular basis so that she could go out. And there came a point where she no longer wanted to be with Hal. Hal told us that he had cut her money off, and she became upset.
He said that on June 27th, they argued about her drinking and doing drugs, and he left the house to cool down.
He was gone for several hours. When he returned, Tammy was waiting for him in the kitchen with her bags packed.
Tam!
At that point, she just left the house in a small car, which he couldn't describe any further than being a small red vehicle, and that he hadn't had any contact with her since then.
He did not see who was driving the car. He said she had done this before, but this time he believed she would not return.
Frankly, I don't expect to, sir.
For Hal, the marriage was over.
Thank you.
As an adult, Tammy had every right to disappear.
However, she still had to be found because we had a missing persons case. Even though I didn't have any authority as a police officer to force her to go home or to make contact with anybody, it was my responsibility to find her and report that I had found her to her parents or her family so that they could have some closure.
The police ran a background check on Tammy Karen. Senior investigator Tom Scalepi reviewed the findings.
The records check revealed that on several occasions there were reports of domestic violence in the Karen household, and it was determined that Tammy was the aggressor in each and every one of those incidents. Very unusual. It's not your typical domestic violence scenario.
Investigators discovered Hal had an order of protection against his wife, Tammy. They also checked Hal Karen's background.
He was in the Army, in our Special Forces. No violence on his part anywhere through there.
The investigators contacted Tony Valentine to fill her in.
Hello, Tony. This is Investigator John
It appeared that her sister, Tammy, had left on her own.
Talk to you maybe about that, see if we can. Tammy had called Tony and had told her that she was tired of married life and that she was leaving Hal. Maybe get some ideas.
The detectives
from you.
wanted to leave nothing unanswered, so the investigation would continue.
All right, thank you.
There was a lot of footwork to be done, a lot of background to be doing on Tammy.
Troopers spoke to everyone who knew Tammy and followed up on even the smallest leads.
About Tammy Karen.
She used to work here.
Through the course of interviewing Tammy's co-workers at the diner, it was learned that Tammy was very friendly with one of the cooks.
Everyone knew the two were close. And several months before Tammy disappeared, the cook moved back to Canada.
She had made comments to several people that the cook liked her and that he had asked her to leave with him to go to Canada, and that she was considering this as a possibility.
It was a good lead, but no one knew where the cook had gone. With a subpoena, the New York State Police secured copies of the Karen's phone records. They discovered a call to a Canadian number in April of that year. Investigators needed to track down that cook.
We were able to make contact with him in Canada, and we were able to put to rest that lead. He stated that he had asked her to come to Canada and that she said she may, but that she had not returned to Canada with him.
The state police distributed a missing persons flyer in the Wurtsboro area and also in Tampa, the most likely place Tammy would have headed.